And Warren attacks President Trump over his Pocahontas comment, even as a descendant of the real Pocahontas voices their support for the president. One America's Kristian Rouz has more on the controversy.
Well, we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas.
President Trump's recent reference to Senator Elizabeth Warren as Pocahontas caused a meltdown among the left-leaning public and the mainstream media, with Senator Warren herself accusing the president of, quote, throwing in a racial slur. However, President Trump has jokingly called Senator Warren Pocahontas since at least his last year's presidential campaign, in a nod to the Democrat senator faking her ancestry.
So instead of picking somebody, and you don't have to go with Pocahontas, you don't have to go that far, who, by the way, who hasn't done anything. She is the worst senator in the U.S. Senate.
Senator Warren and the mainstream media picked up the Pocahontas comment to use it against the president amid the recent power struggle at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Over the Thanksgiving weekend, President Trump appointed his current director of the Office of Management and Budget, Mick Mulvaney, as acting director of CFPB, seeking to drain the swamp of Democrat machine politics deeply rooted in the agency. President Trump's recent actions are now threatening an alleged Democrat corruption scheme, which has reportedly benefited Senator Warren.
This was a playground for Elizabeth Warren and her left-wing, anti-capitalist, anti-free enterprise friends. It was a very abusive agency. It's an agency which did enormous damage, and I think it's a remarkable sign that Trump moved so decisively and is seizing control of what was an out-of-control agency.
President Trump's appointment to lead the agency was contested by Senator Warren, who played a crucial role in the establishment of the CFPB 7 years ago and was the agency's first director. Warren's Senate Financial Disclosure Report reveals her net worth is almost $15 million, whilst her official income as senator and Harvard professor would have only earned her about $9 million over a period of years. According to National Review, Senator Warren might have made a lot of money from flipping foreclosed homes, capitalizing on the ruined lives of many mortgage borrowers. The report shows Senator Warren would buy a foreclosed home for $30,000 and resell it for $145,000 5 months later, bringing her a stunning 383% profit. Oklahoma land records show Warren reportedly undertook at least 12 similar deals in the state.
National Review revealed that she had herself flipped houses. She had bought foreclosed property. She had taken advantage of distressed homeowners. She made a very nice profit.
Additionally, Warren reportedly lent money to her family members at sky-high interest rates, a practice which meets the definition of loan sharking. Acting CFPB Director Mick Mulvaney now finds himself in a unique position to crack down on corruption in the non-accountable and non-transparent agency, as he now has access to all documents and records related to the Bureau's dealings. Recent reports say the CFPB might have operated corruption schemes worth billions of dollars. Among other schemes, the CFPB awarded an almost $15 million contract to left-wing political consulting agency GMMB this past June, as well as an additional $16 million for materials on student debt and mortgage loans. Up until Mulvaney's appointment, the CFPB had been operated by close allies of the Clintons, the Obama administration, and Senator Warren herself.
And that's why I asked Elizabeth Warren to set up this new bureau. Over the past year, she has done an extraordinary job. And as part of her charge, I asked Elizabeth to find the best possible choice for director of the Bureau. And that's who we found in Richard Cordray. Richard was one of the first people that Elizabeth recruited.
Meanwhile, there is mounting evidence Senator Warren faked her Native American ancestry in order to get ahead professionally and politically. Warren first claimed to be Native American back in 1986 in an Association of American Law Schools directory. She stopped exploiting her fake Native American ancestry 10 years later after finally securing a job at Harvard. Warren failed to back up her claims of Cherokee ancestry with any evidence, saying it's part of her family's lore.
I have plenty of pictures. They're not for you.
A comprehensive analysis by a group of Cherokee genealogists found Warren had no Native American ancestry whatsoever.
No, she's not. I've looked at her documentation. I've looked at her family papers, there's nothing to indicate she's Cherokee.
Meanwhile, Debbie White Dove Perico, a descendant of the actual Pocahontas, has expressed her support for President Trump. Perico says Pocahontas would have been proud of President Trump had she been living in our century.
I know he uses Pocahontas sometimes, with the Elizabeth Warren. He said, well, does that offend you when I use that? And I told him, no, it doesn't offend me.
In this light, mainstream media hysteria around President Trump's Pocahontas comment appears to be a smokescreen to cover up Elizabeth Warren's questionable dealings, as Mulvaney's crackdown on CFPB corruption is widely expected to tank Senator Warren's career. Kristian, Rouz, One American News.